All right, you guys, for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be working on opinion writing. And this week, we're specifically working on recommending a book. We've done this before in class, but we thought it would be a good thing to revisit right now. You are going to choose a favorite book, maybe a picture book or a chapter book that you've been reading at home, or one that you can find to read online. And we would like you to recommend it to your classmates because everyone right now is really missing their classmates, missing time in the library, spending a lot more time at home. So let's give each other some ideas for things to read. Now, I'm going to decide on a book, and it's one that I recently read aloud if you want to check it out. So we have Love and Roast Chicken. This, of course, was the one that got disrupted by Telly at the end. Now, as you decide on a book, I've thought, I really want to share about Love and Roast Chicken with my class. One thing I can do is think about the parts of the book that I would have an opinion about. What is it that I like about it? So, I'm going to start thinking about the characters in the book. Are they important to me? Do I have favorite parts of the book that bring me back to it again and again? Do I really like the pictures? Would I describe those to someone? Is it maybe the title or the cover that really I think will draw them in? Is there an important lesson that you learn in the book? So stop to think about, why do you like the book that you like? For today, you can just start brainstorming. You could write them down or you could talk to someone about it. The next day, though, we're then going to start working with, double stuffing an Oreo. Now in first grade and in second grade, we've talked about just the simple Oreo. You give an opinion, you give a reason, an example of that reason or evidence of that reason, and then you sum up your opinion again. When we say double stuff, that means push yourself to think of a couple reasons why you like your book and a couple examples of those. Now, if you want to have a triple stuffed Oreo, you go for it. I've never heard of a quadruple stuffed Oreo, but if you know so many reasons why you love your book, go for it. Okay, so let's take a look at some work that I did when I was working on my Oreo. So, here we go. I got it ready. Perfect. All right. Here are some things for you to notice as you're looking at this. First, I wrote down my opinion. Love and Roast Chicken is a funny, clever book that you will love. Next, I wrote down a reason. That's what R stands for. It is a trickster book, which is fun. Now remember, this isn't even my first draft. If your sentences aren't perfect or super interesting yet, that's okay. Then I write down an example or evidence that this trickster book is fun. Now this one I wrote in a complete sentence. This is almost ready to go into my writing. For example, Koi gets Fox to hold a rock because the sky is falling. I feel bad for him, but it's funny. I tried to include a little bit of my voice and my thoughts in there too, to show why I thought that was an example of it being a fun part of the book. Now remember, this is a double stuffed Oreo, so I bring up another reason I like it. It has some words in Spanish that you can learn. Examples. This one, I didn't try to put it in a sentence yet. I just put the thoughts down. I will make that better when I put it in my first draft. So I just wrote down some examples found in the book. Pobrecito, que tramposo. Tramposo? Como? And then I have my opinion again. I don't just repeat it the exact same way. I just know that at the end I need a conclusion that reminds people what I'm doing. I'm recommending a book. So I wrote, read Love and Roast Chicken to learn about a new place and laugh. That doesn't have to be the way that my story ends. Maybe it'll be a little bit different later. But it gets me started. Now this will help me when I'm ready to write my first draft. As we know, first drafts don't have to be perfect. You're giving it a try. You can edit it afterwards and add things. If you want to keep the exact same draft, I do recommend skipping lines. It makes it a little bit easier to change spelling or to maybe add a detail or information in later. If you know you're going to make a second draft, make a bunch of changes, scribble all over it, and then write it again, you might be able to get away with not skipping lines. So, before I start my first draft, this page helps me think about some things I need to do to make it a strong opinion writing. I want to introduce the book. I don't just start talking about it without telling people what I'm doing. I need to clearly write my opinion. I need to give lots of reasons, give evidence from the book. So I want things to be pretty specific. And I'm going to try to use some juicy words. Those could be really descriptive words, or maybe they're words that are specific story words that we know, like plot or character or setting. We're also going to make sure if I put something that's several words that are exactly from the book, or maybe an exact line that a character says, I should put that in quotation marks to show that I got it from the book. Okay, let's take a look at my first draft. I want to point some things, oops, that's not what I wanted. I want to point some things out to you guys as we go. Okay, so when I was writing this, I have in purple some of the things I really want you to notice. I started with, do you love books that are clever, funny, and a little different than other books? This right here, you guys, is just like a hook. It's a way to get the reader's attention. I'm asking them a question to get them thinking. Asking a question can be a great way to get your readers curious. You don't have to make it a question, but you could start with a sentence that makes people go, I'm going to keep reading this. I want to read this recommendation. I then, though, make sure to include my opinion. I think you will love Love and Roast Chicken by Barbara Knudsen. I thought afterwards I should be a little specific about the author of the book to give her credit. She did write it after all. Now, another thing I found helpful, I used that page with linking words. And so when I stated my first reason, I started with one reason. One reason you'll like it is it's a trickster book. The trickster character is a guinea pig. Again, notice I'm trying to use rich, juicy words. I specifically say trickster book. That's a kind of book. I talk about a character, the guinea pig. He does things like make Fox hold a boulder to keep the sky from falling, and so he doesn't eat him. I feel bad for Fox, but it's still funny. I wrote boulder in purple because that was a chance I had to use a juicy word. When I was about to write it, I was about to say rock, and then I thought, rock doesn't sound like that big a deal. I could hold a rock in my pocket all day. People should know it was a really big rock. They can't see the pictures in the book, so I'm going to use the word boulder. That's a juicy word that's more descriptive, so people get what was happening. I included that little personal detail, too, about how I do kind of feel bad for Fox, but it's still funny. Ooh, then I use another transition word, so we know that I'm talking about something new. I said, another reason I like this book is the words in Spanish. Words like como, pobrecito, and que tramposo. So notice how I put that in quotation marks? First of all, they're in another language. That might help people know, wait, did they just misspell that? It's another language, it's Spanish. Also, I'm taking them straight from the book. There is a glossary in the back to help you pronounce and understand the words. I added a little more information there. I added a sentence, and I did try to use a juicy, specific reading word, glossary, that we've learned. That's the thing that you find in the back of a book that gives you word for word what something means, and in this case, shows you exactly how to pronounce it. I then have my conclusion. Love and Roast Chicken will make you smile if you read it. I didn't even mention the bold, beautiful pictures. Check it out. This is a little different from what I had on my Oreo writing, but it's okay for you to change things and improve them. The first time you write it, you might not be your very best. The second time, you might come up with a new idea. So I hope that helps you write your book recommendation. We would love, once you're done, you've checked your work, you have a lot of linking words, you're using juicy words, you have reasons and examples, you went back through and checked for all those good things like capital letters where they belong, punctuation marks where they belong. Ooh, hey. Title of a book, Love and Roast Chicken, Barbara Knudsen. Really careful with my capital letters, huh? Once you've finished editing and you think it's your very best, try taking a picture of it and sending it to me. Or if you'd like, you could make a video of yourself sending it. Or maybe have this be one of the things that you bring to a small group meeting to share. We would love to hear your recommendations.